Hello, welcome to the Joy of Drawing and our YouTube channel, and we're going to draw an egret today. So you see that I'm now marking out the shapes that you see on the egret. They're kind of lovely S curves. So all you need is your pencil, and you can watch me and then go back and watch it again and then do it yourself. That's what I suggest the best. So I'm going to put this here and we're going to practice doing what we call S curves. Notice how I'm holding my pencil halfway down. I'm holding it halfway down. Okay, so here we go. There we go. So this is called an S curve, and you see that's how we're going to get the very graceful shapes of this bird and the different shapes. So you might want to practice that before you even start. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look and see that there's a little kind of oval for his head or her head. And there's the kind of angle of the beak, long beak there. Maybe I've got it a little bit too angled, but you can get it right. And the next thing I'll want to do is draw a line. Now we call this a line, goes right down the middle. So draw a little line. I'm going to put it at the side. This is the easiest way to draw a straight line. Just draw it, move your pencil. And I'm going to draw a couple of lines. And if you look, that's where the legs are. Do you see? If you look at that, that's where it is. So now we've got that little line, and we call that a guideline. And now we're going to do the little S curves for the neck. You're not bound with this. You can try it out. Draw lightly. That's why I'm holding my pencil halfway down. You want to hold your pencil halfway down because then you can draw lightly. If you hold it too close to the edge or the end of the pencil, you're going to draw too hard, and that's very hard to erase if you need to erase. So now I'm doing a little bit of the shape of the body, wing, and so forth. Okay, that's a little shape there. And then here come the little legs. So they're a little bit darker. And here's the other leg. There's the tummy. And it's quite long. And then the funny little he's got to have these toes because he's got to balance. My goodness, it must be so hard to balance. Thin legs. And there's the second line I made. And this is going to be the second long leg. And they're kind of a bit what we call bandy in English. They're kind of bandy, they're kind of woof, but look at how strong he is. Stands there in the wind, strong as anything. Doesn't fall over. Way better than I am. So there's these big feet that kind of, obviously balance him. So now I'm going to get this a little bit better in terms of, I look at this, now I can make some erasing, change some things, make some changes. Take your time. Now I'm going to go, okay, that's the side. That's kind of how I want it. It might take you a while to get it right. And you can always draw over top of your photo. If you have this photo, I don't know where I found this, but you can always draw. If you do have a photo you're drawing from, you can sort of draw over top of it. It kind of lets you know a little bit what it is you're trying to copy. And here's the side wing. And we first did this class at the Google Experience building, and they asked for it because this is their local bird. There are lots of birds there. You see lots of egrets in Mountain View down by the bay. Okay, so now I'm demonstrating here how to do your shading. Do you see I've got my hand, I've got my pencil on its side. So I can now, see I'm holding it a little bit differently. And you can see what these different holds are in our book, but I'm holding it overhead and just lightly adding some nice bits of shading there and the underbody. Now it would be underneath because the light is coming from the top. So everything underneath his body is going to be in shadow. You can always tell where the light is coming from because the shadow's on the other side. So you can see that the light is kind of coming from the right and from the top. And that tells you, so going to be a little bit of shading underneath his wing. There we go. And I turn my pencil back around again to draw with it on the top. So you see I'm going back and forth, back and forth. This is something for you to practice. You know, it's very common for me to do this, but not so common for you. So now this was an hour and a half class, so, you know, we took our time. And you can take your time. And even if you're a beginning artist, you can do this. I saw all kinds of lovely drawings of this egret from people that never drawn before. So, you know, just remember rule number 000, tip number 000. They send your inner critic outside the door. Doesn't help. And don't worry if it's not exactly in proportion. That's way too early for you to be worrying about that. So you see, I'm turning the pencil to to draw this straight line. I'm moving you see how I move the paper. It's so much easier to do that. That's another of our tips. I didn't put that on Instagram yet. That's to come. So now I'm putting a little bit more detail. And now you see I'm putting detail. So I've moved my hand up towards the end of the pencil because now I can get it dark. I'm going to so I don't put my darks in till the very end. Not till the end. Everything else, I do everything lightly to start with. And the darks come at the end. Because then if I've got something wrong, which I guarantee you will do, you will have things wrong in the beginning, you can erase it. Don't feel bad about it. I'm putting in a little bit more detail into his feet here. And then I'll go up probably and put a bit, yeah, so here we go. Yep, I got that about right. See, I'm kind of comparing where the end of his foot comes compared to the side of his body. And I notice it comes all the way out to the side, and the body I've got a little bit too fat. So the way I do that is I kind of compare where things come on the drawing. And these are all things that we teach in our book, The Joy of Drawing, a beginner's manual available on Amazon, and it comes with videos for every single exercise. And this would really fall under the exercise on shading and shadows. You're really learning to do shading, but also all the earlier ones, because I'm using, you know, the kind of marks I'm using and the pencil I'm using and these straight lines. That's all from chapter 1 and 2. So you can also go to our website, www.thejoyofdrawing.org, and join our classes where we do in-person classes, sort of a deep dive into learning your skills. And I'm teaching a specific skill to you here. And that is kind of shading and then also using these guidelines, which is important. And then you notice that one of the important skills is how to hold your pencil. And that's right in, you know, right at the start of our book. So now I'm just, you know, I'm kind of like making everything a little bit, kind of cleaning it up a bit, changing it a little bit, you know, and so on and so forth. Here we go. I'm making his neck a little bit better. So I put that S curve in fast to start with. And then, okay, where does this, yep, it's about right. Eyes about right. And I don't know if I change, yeah, there, I made a little change there. And then I'm just keeping his bill there, like a very long, thin bill for catching fish. Incredibly fast how they catch these fish. Or I don't know what they catch, fish or stuff, whatever it is. Not an expert on these things. So there we go. And then just for some fun for you, after I've done this, I'm going to put in a little background. So I'll put a bit of background in it in a bit, so we can kind of give him somewhere to be standing once I'm done here. Nope, I think that's him. We're not putting any background in. We're just almost done. Another little tiny bit. This is where you just put your little final dark lines in. I've got my pencil held further down. I'm putting a little bit more. And I'm sure you'll do a better job than I will. Almost there. Okay, here it goes. Nice little straight line. This is the water's back of the water's edge. This is he's actually sitting on a lake, and that lake is well, it's actually a lake, and it's on the Bay Area, like the Baylands. And there's sort of little, you can see little hills off in the future, but this is a little lake down by the bay and below San Francisco, and it's down below the Google buildings. So you go by the Google buildings, they've got a huge campus, and we do classes for people at what they call their visitors experience. And so right down the road from there, you go right to the bay, and overlooking the bay, and that's where you'll find these egrets. They're just all over the place, and that's why they ask for them. And so he's standing there, and here's some reeds. I'm putting a few little reeds here. Oh, some little flowers as well. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. It looks pretty big there. I think I should have made those reeds a little bit longer, but never mind. Maybe they're short reeds. And it's always good to ground your drawings, like put something along where they are, just so that they don't just hang in space. It kind of helps you feel, oh, I know this is, yeah, I'm making this a little bit longer. There's a little bit, these are grasses that you will definitely find, and few little trees on the other bank. This is a little lake. It's called Shoreline Lake. And I'm sort of drawing it from memory because I've done it so many times. And there he is. And I think we're just pretty much done, and I hope you have a really wonderful time with this, and please do join us for more videos. Thank you.